Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is down 0.8% there on the S&P. Nasdaq is down 1.5%. Semiconductor got hit heavily today, down 3%. Dow held up a little bit better than other indices, such as S&P and the Nasdaq, but down nonetheless about 0.5% there. Russell 2000 down 1.6%. Transport 1%. Banks held up better, pretty much flat today. We got, while the healthcare is green, utilities green also. However, we got the energy down 3%, close to 3% there. Biotech 1%, home builders 1.5%, retail 2% negative. Emerging market down 0.5% there today. Bitcoin's pretty much flat. Gold is up, silver's up, miners up. Notably though, miners is up close to 2% today. Dollars up 1%, oil's down, treasury bond down, VIX popped a little bit. Let's look at the S&P 500 ETF. Spider, 65-minute chart here. So this is where we closed yesterday. We extensively talked about this level right here, right? Potentially, it's gonna act as bear flag depending on how this market behaves. First 2 hours of this morning. So you can see after that bear flagging pattern right here, we didn't see a follow through to the upside because we talked about yesterday that this could potentially be either a bear flag before going lower, or this is some kind of a tweezer bottom bullish reversal candle pattern before going back up to 470. But it all depends on how this market behaves first 2 hours of this morning. So what happened was, it gapped down. You can see right here, that's where it opened, right? That's why there's a green candle there, right? That's where it closed. That's where it opened. It gapped down. Good news is that buyers made sure there's no open down gap. So that gap that was opened up this morning was filled quickly. And then you can see on the second hour, right? So remember we talked about how this market behaved in the first 2 hours of market opening today. So you can see on the second hour, they failed to break above the last hour of trading session on the yesterday's price session, that peak right here, right? So that level, right, that last hour peak, acting as, we're talking about yesterday's price action, acting as micro-term resistance. And with that, we do have a 3-hour reversal candlestick pattern right there. There's an evening star reversal candle. And pretty much, that's pretty similar to, you can see, that's right there, or this right here. You see, so you can see sometimes you got these clusters of potential signals that doesn't pan out without a follow through. So you can see we did see potentially what it looked like potentially a bullish reversal signal, but we didn't see a follow through today. And that's why that signal was nullified. And then they gave us this. It's the evening star reversal type of candle there. And along with that, bearish flagging pattern potentially playing out now with that. And then you can see, not to mention, we got the short-term moving average in that vicinity, and with that evening star reversal pattern and the bear flagging right there, you can see on that third hour or fourth hour, stops are getting taken out, short-term bulls are exiting, bears, short sellers are getting excited, and then this fourth hour, fifth hour, and then a 6th hour. So we hung around in this vicinity around 463. I'm going to zoom out and you will see why we kind of held that level. So overall, this is a down day today. And we did lose that short-term moving average for the first time since what? Since October, I believe, right? So let's zoom out here. So since late October. So you can see that last time we saw that short-term moving average holding was late October, and you can see we held the first hour or so, but then we came right through it. So we did lose that short-term moving average. In that process, we also filled that little gap that was right here, which we talked about yesterday. And that's exactly what bears wanted to do, kind of lose that short-term moving average, kind of into fear again, let people panic a little bit. It's not a huge big down day, according to S&P, it's just down about 0.8%. It's kind of a slightly down day. When the bears come, usually they like to come 2% down day on the S&P, right? 2% 3%. I mean, if we see some of those numbers on like large indices such as S&P and the NASDAQ, yeah, I mean, that's a big down day. Today, slightly down day, I think. A little bit of fear there. But right now, what we see is that we have that, rising pivot. Right, let me draw it a little better here. Rising pivot right there. And if I zoom out, here, let me zoom out here real quick. And then there's also potential rising. So these are all potential levels. I mean, we are holding this level, so you can see right there. So that's the support, and that's currently potential level of support, resistance, support. So that's a potential level of pivot, right? So we got the rising pivot and we got the rising support, and that's 463. And I think that's the reason why market gave us that, the spinning top candle there in the last hour. Indecision, we're hanging around. Market is going to keep you guessed. And I think the good sign, at least, that there's no down gap here because that down gap was filled right away. So until the bulls can reclaim that short-term moving averages right here, bulls need to reclaim that short-term moving average by doing something like this. Goes up, comes back down, and then the short-term moving average is going to rise like this, and then use it as support, and then ride it up. If we see something like that, kind of get up here, kind of reclaim this level, that's when you're going to see this market, getting back up. However, if we start to stall here, and if that short-term moving average is now acting as resistance, like let's say we see a little bit of pop tomorrow, right? And then that short-term moving average is doing this, let's say, right? Comes down and price hit that resistance and then comes right back down, right? So prior support is acting as a new resistance. If we see something like that and break below this rising pivot, rising support, bears are going after let's see here. We're going after 455. I'm gonna put a line there so we can see, because that's the last gap area. You can see that 455, 453. So bears might be going after that gap here that was opened up in late October, right? So I think right now the key, moving average right now is a short-term moving average, right? And then that rising pivot and the rising uptrend support. How this market behave in this vicinity right here, it's gonna really dictate how this market is playing. And it's really gonna set the tone for the month of November, right? This is gonna set the tone for the month of November, right? So if we regain that short-term moving average, we might see continuation to the upside for the month of November. If we do lose this rising pivot here and the rising support, 455, 453, and things could be hectic for the remainder of November. So we'll kind of reassess the situation, but let's check out that oscillator and see if we can extract any more information. So per oscillator, it's interesting to note that you think after a down day today like this, right? You can see right here, we definitely got down day, but the oscillator is moving sideways. Didn't we see something similar to this last time? Do you guys remember kind of a weird signal that we witnessed last time back in right here? You see right here? And this was how market bottomed. You guys remember in September, right? Remember the special signal? It was interesting that oscillator actually didn't come all the way down to the bottom of the span while the price came down. Oscillator moved sideways. And so it's obviously a little too early to say, but I thought when I opened up my software here, and I thought, okay, after seeing the numbers, right, with about down or about a 1% negative on S&P, I thought for sure, I thought, the oscillator probably hitting the oversold level. But I thought it was interesting that oscillator is not moving, just moving sideways. So the reason why is this. I'm going to explain to you why that is. First of all, are we still in an uptrend in the overall perspective? Yes. Are we? Yes, in the micro to short term, we did lose that short-term moving average, but in overall, the midterm, short term, the overall picture is bullish. We're just seeing a little bit of pullback, a little bit of decline. The oscillators giving respect to this overall trend and recognizing that there is a support right here. Yes, we did blow through the short-term moving average today, but recognizing the fact that we do have this pivot here and the rising uptrend support. So if this were to bounce tomorrow, you'll see how fast this oscillator just gets right back up and things move quickly. So that's why I think the oscillator just kind of hanging around. Really want to see how this market ends for the week, this week here. So obviously levels are clear. Bears need to break below this rising pivot and rising support. Bulls need to reclaim that short-term moving average to the upside. So levels are clear, right? Either bulls get back up to the new all-time high level after reclaiming that short-term moving average, or if bears break below this rising pivot and rising uptrend support, oscillator comes right back down to the bottom of span, and bears want to go to 455 and retest that gap area. I'll come back for you. We will reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening and good luck trading tomorrow.